zamanla data aqui dá umas caduminhas.
You have all that magical burst.
Yeah, but are you going to burst him?
Exactly.
After he's got those first two sort of stat items,
yeah.
It's...
Like I said,
gonna...
But it's very obnoxious for Tiny. Yeah, he hates playing versus, like I said, Undying, Phoenix, and Veno are three of the bigger counters that just make his life miserable.
Radiant must choose.
Puck. And I like those bans too, because you've already shown that you have an Undying, so you're going to be a bit limited on the disable front, so these elusive storms and pucks could be real.
You are going to need some control yourself, some sort of bane.
Yeah, maybe they go for the Legion Commander still anyway. XXS is one of his favorites, and it's a dispel for the Fiend script. Really strong later as well,
Legion's
too.
super good with the shard against, yeah, so as you said, for the save against Tiny, but catch someone, set up a Tiny, and there'll be the high chance they get out of there.
Yeah.
A lot of save and sustain then it would be between Undying, Kunkka's Rum.
Maybe a bit overkill at this point, but it's still strong because it gives you that a BKB piercing lockdown as well, and a long duration one. So even though Tiny, as we mentioned, status is a sweep, then decent, but they're gonna go for a hard disable, as you said. Undying, lacking, they gotta get some. Because Abed very likely to play still some Spirit. Ember and Void Spirit are still there. Queen of Pain still there, also a very popular hero.
Yeah, I mean, something like the co-op with the Void Spirit, do you still like that when there's already like these tanky heroes, the Kunkka? I feel like this is a hero you're going to struggle to burst, or do you think if you pick something like a co-op and say the Kunkka does go mid, you're going to be able to crush him hard enough in the matchup that he just has a sad game?
Yeah, I think that could be an opportunity. And now, okay, so we've got Bane Mirana, so a really strong roaming combo. Also could set up for, I mean, they could set up for some type of like aggro lanes even too.
I've seen these heroes as well. I've got like poor old 86 standing in. You're playing against a Mirana that's going to be constantly sort of trying to keep you on your toes in the mid lane.
Yep.
EG, they're definitely looking to put the pressure on there.
I like the Mirana a lot. And yeah, there's the Ember. So we expected some type of these elusive heroes for Abed, and that's why
I like this Spirit more.
Yep.
With the build potential, you can just sort of scale how you want your damage output to go more than something like a Void Spirit or Quad.
And now just like you said, if he is going to be 86 mid lane, now you really have to watch out for Mirana arrows. You're going to have a chains as well. That can be the setup for it too, so quite scary.
But if 86 feels comfortable standing up and playing something else, there's that chance to say. This Kunkka Undying could go together at the bottom. We got the Morphling.
The Monet Morph. Classic.
And I guess Morph is one of those carries that's pretty good against the Tiny, right?
And versus the Ember. Turning into both of these heroes inside of a team fight is very strong. You're going to have Toss Avalanches of plenty. You're going to have the Slight Chains. Everybody always used to like to play the Morphling versus the Ember because it's pretty much like you have an Ember Spirit on your team inside of the team fight.
Great with the heals and sort of sustain again. And set this Morph up.
Moonlight Shadow looks pretty good this game though. I love playing Mirana overall just always has these like little invisible impact things, but versus something like Tombstone, the zombies are spreading, you Moonlight Shadow, if you get it to disengage away from like a sentry or from like a dust, your teammates are just going to have those zombies disappear. You can always like set up really nicely. And it's a lot of gank potential right now from EG with that Mirana ult, with the Bane setup, with the Tiny, lot of burst.
It is Radiant span.
Team fights, I would say, is a little bit lacking on in comparison, because now we see Aster, they've got Kunkka Undying, so I would say they have a little bit more of that team fight department. If they do show up with those two, EG probably has to have a kill an advantage before they got to split them. Yeah.
No, that's true. The AoE quite there here for.
And we do see that Legion ban. Very expected now, especially with an Ember pick too, some chains that can be dispelled.
Just ruins the whole setup.
10 seconds remain.
Beastmaster from
5
Aster. I like that one.
remain.
It's right now EG has shown that they have a bit of lacking on building damage. Sure, Tiny, I know.
Tiny's still
Tiny's
punches,
still pretty
but
crazy, but they want
that's-
something like a buffer, right? Something to boost them up so that Beast would and BKB piercing lockdown. Beast.
They're still targeting XXS.
A lot of
Another offlaner to come off here from EG.
lot of damage on each. A lot of burst potential. So if like these heroes aren't in position to save, like the Undying or the Kunkka doesn't get his rum off, like these heroes are gonna die on the side of Aster for sure if they do get it set up on at all. They have to have very good positioning. Kunkka, I really feel I'm looking at Kunkka needing to be there for most of the fight. To play fast, no cooldowns really, so Nature's Prophet fits that perfectly, and he gives them that extra little bit of push. So they ban the 2 pushing heroes and the 2 heroes that kind of accelerate the pace of EG. So do like those bans.
5 seconds. Radiant's turn to pick. Elder Titan.
Ooh, okay, hell yeah.
So what are we getting? Who's playing what? Anything switching up here?
ET is Ice Ice Ice, I imagine.
Okay.
Oh.
Core ET?
Yeah, Corey. And that's always going to be really nice versus Morphling.
It is.
If you
Goodbye, goodbye armor.
Yep. The more farm that you get on an ET is always going to be better because then you can actually stay in the face. If you're a support ET versus like the Morphlings, at some point, you know, when you get B and all that, it's a little harder. But as a core, you can stay on them.
And I mean, Tiny's combo
So much
is
damage.
insane anyway.
It's so much
buffed
damage
up
on this
by
team.
the Elder Titan aura.
Yeah.
Applying that debuff. Heroes are going to disappear. There's going to be very little they can do to save one another. Yeah. At this moment in time, we'll see what Aster draft with themselves.
Oof, and so they'll put what? Lion has to be a 4 position. Undying Morphling will be the safe lanes. So it's going to be ET Mirana versus that. So Undying can do a decent job, but this could be really hard for the Morph, I gotta be honest. It's so much damage, it's constant poke from the Mirana, and Undying can't really back you up to trade with a Mirana at all. So I think this could be a tough one for Monet in that top lane.
Select your hero.
Lucy, at least, you know, that Necro, that percent damage versus the Tiny.
Yeah, one of the heroes I think can work nicely against it, and lockdown. They need lockdown. So now at least with the Scythe, they can have good burst with the Scythe, the Finger from Borax. They can look to pop some of these heroes like Arbed, Spirit. Sure, you have the Flame Guard, but not a hero that's going to be looking to build stat items or. So still, if they can get that catch, blink.
Aster has no way to hit buildings. Morphling has to be the only one who just walks up. They have Tombstone to provide
I mean,
vision,
they're taking it late, right? They're building up Monet. They're looking to get Monet to a point where he's ready to carry the game on his shoulders.
But even late, they're playing versus ET. So
yeah, EG's not going to feel bad.
I think you're playing into EG's hands if that's the case.
It's definitely a hard game. It's a hard game here for Aster. Case, anyways, we say this today, having to play with their stand-in with White Album form, so
they have.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting. 86 on the Kunkka.
Yeah, and they have. The one thing I will say is they have really strong team fight. I'm just going to keep reiterating that. So if they do come out of the lanes ahead, if they can start to group up, they could actually dismantle EG in a pretty quick fashion because EG is more about that pick-off game. But as we've known, EG overall laning phase is their jam. So we're going to see how they set up the lanes and what they're going to do to just even more shut down the hero that they think is going to probably win. Here we go. Game.
Impressive win rate on the old Ember Spirit, 268 wins, 5 losses. And ladies, first game that myself and Vog will be taking you through, EG versus Aster. Game 1 of the 2-game series.
Level 1 smoke.
Aster ready to head out. Some action, so's EG, smoke coming out from them as well.
Let's go, because you know what it is? Gotta block the small camp. Oh, and you cannot let them get to the small camp. We'll see if they both try to go for it here. Double sentries on fly. Borax has one, he's already in position around his small camp. Say the invasion begins. Welcome, everybody. Look at items.
Just being very careful.
Yeah. Out of the ordinary. Ice with some cheeky starting items. Double gauntlet, just stick, branches, no regen to start. He's going to bring it out at the start. That's cool, because he's playing versus the Undying, and they're not going to be able to hit him too much, and he's just going to be able to play in the face of them. Then he can actually hit the Undying back.
30 seconds to battle. What drum sound
Still
is
just
this?
all five.
Yeah, Aster. I like the defensive pose here. 5 round the tier 1.
Got to be careful of the sleep arrow. Someone steps out of position.
That'll be a first blood.
And Lanem, he did automatically skill decay, so he didn't even go for just in case of anything where they will be with sleep. He wants decay for the laning phase, as I think is necessary. He needs to secure Monet.
Step up. Bouncer in it. Maybe Boris can deal with the stun, but Tara's going to come out able to secure that bounty. You get a bit of a rundown here from the two of them, but no catch.
See if where Fly goes. Is he going to just go straight back top lane immediately? More than likely. We'll have our standard lanes.
Pretty much expected with the setup.
Yep.
It's definitely going to be on the mid lane. How much can 86 do here as the stand-in against definitely one of the fiercer mids at the tournament here, Arbed and the Spirit.
And both mids do have their small camp available.
Mid lane in and out. Flame Guard being leveled up by Arbed. 6 Tidebringer. Side lanes. Borax trading quite nicely here with Fly.
Yep. Decent lane right now for Aster. This top lane should be pretty okay for Aster. Once levels come out, Borax just has to be a bit careful. They have to be careful of some like sleep toss-back plays that could come out from the side of EG, but a decent lane there. And looking at the bottom lane, as I said, Monet is really going to have a hard time. They're going to just consistently arrow the range creep with the Mirana, and then they're just going to have creep advantage plus an ET with like the, you know, spirit bonus damage. So it'll be a bit of a tough start for Monet, and we'll see.
You get nothing.
You know, what sort of stage can we expect to see some movement? So, you know, do you want to try and do something about the Kunker early on? Make sure that you can shut his game down early?
I bet it's fine in this matchup.
But,
Yep, Ember does good in this one.
top lane. Success. He's got the stick charges. Not easy. Whatever, run him down. Fly's got to be careful.
I like XXS, what he's going for here. Immediately going for Falcon Blade. Got a fluffy hat, so just needs to watch about first potential in the top lane levels, so that'll that 800 HP already. So he's very, very healthy.
Cover him nicely with the stun.
Yep.
And each time the Arteezy tries to step up.
Crit decides to start checking any of these water runes at some point soon. Right now, they're emphasizing they're just shutting down Monet. Okay, he actually had the lane in a good position. Lanem's doing a really good job of bodying both Ice and...
And what do you sort of expect to see nowadays from the Morph? Are we seeing the E-Blade, or is it sort of Manta Skadi just farming it up? Yeah, are you killing or are you hitting creeps?
They've been switching it up a lot. It really depends on what you're playing against and what you're with too, because I've seen a lot of Aghanims too. I've seen some like Willows, but most of the time it's still Manta. Especially when you're playing versus like chains and stuff like that, it can be annoying.
Harder for Arteezy to step up to the wave top.
Crit's going for couriers. That's gonna might give away their ward that they placed deeply early on, but either way, always.
Try not damage there to get that range CS. Nice deny.
He's getting 14-2. Elder Titan only 9-5 right now. This is not going as well as I thought that EG was going to be able to play like aggressive down here. I guess the Undying factor is just too much. He's just constantly getting the spam onto the ET. Now is a little different. ET, he's 3, so that's where the Spirit actually becomes powerful. At that 40 bonus damage from heroes if he hits both of them. He's got literally a DD or even triple damage or more.
Yeah, and when you do run this ET Mirana lane, you need it to sort of win. Like losing the lane is.
Тачка. Дом.
Two for ET is like you want to have a good laning phase because you don't have a good catch-up mechanic.
Yeah.
You don't farm well. You don't. It's farm well. You farm through team fights or through kills. So at some point soon they're gonna start getting very aggressive down here. I'd imagine. It's the same thing. Just always watch out for Tombstone 5 hits. But they don't want to get too over aggressive.
How we doing?
Farmlec своё. Такие опции. пока мне нравится, как играет Астер, но это старт. Старт и... Все равно пик.
Way where Arteezy does have that time or so and he's ready to roll. First heroes with the combo. There is the chance that they will survive through it.
Cloaks, bracers, raindrops, fluffy hats will be a friend of Aster. This is sustain. Their lineup is sustained, so if they can survive the initial burst, it's very likely that they can. That EG, lots of burst. Once they start getting these levels online, especially with.
Just a mild lag here, apparently. You brief and pass. Sin, no first blood. Expected first game of the TI. These teams, they're gonna see some cool. No, nobody wants to be the first to die here on LAN.
The quest for ultimate glory continues.
Selected Abed. I was pretty sure he'd do it, but I'm glad he did do it. He gets the Searing Chains at level 4, so if Crit does look to make these type of mid, it'll be an option for it. And yet top, this Necro is starting to get with a lot. He's gonna have Falcon Blade done now. He's actually got it coming out. Courier already. Start for exit. Very good hero versus the Tiny too. Constantly put down like 400 HP, 70%.
Thanks.
Awesome. Carrying the regen slow down until at top E.
Never refuse good.
Morax looks like he is starting to set up for some of these runes, trying to help out 86. Even though he's holding his own in the match up mid, he just get him.
Money changes hands.
One of those runes, but I thought he was going to go bottom and check it. I thought he was going to pull the creep wave, but he just lets Abed get that bottom water rune for free.
A true warrior never rage quits.
Move over. Gonna probably just scout out some stacks here. See Lion disappear, and stacks are easily farmable by Aster, who have both Kunkka and the Tombstone. Anybody farm.
I mean, and how early? I mean, you say Aster their lineup has got the sort of the superior team fight earlier than G will be capable of when it comes to 4-man or 5-man pushes if Mono has time done. When are you looking for that to come in? Like, how early are Aster going to be trying to push for objectives?
I honestly, like 86, like hit level 6 and maybe just go top, like immediately. Mid, sure, you won't be able to kill Abed with your heroes at the moment. It's just very unlikely unless you get stunned from the Lion and all that. He's already 6-2. I think you want to head the top lane with Boat immediately and take this tower with XXF.
Yeah, I mean, a sort of a well-farmed XXS on the Necroboss this early stage, and with the Kunkka, if that sort of push comes in,
He's going to respond bottom.
He's going to be able to get any sort of setup at 86.
Fast, though.
Trees, and just a level 1X at the moment.
No boots on him.
Well out of the way before anything can do this. Take the slow walk back to mid lane. Crit. To move over here as well. Seeing if they can do something with the two of them, or with the three of them here. EG, they've got their eyes on 86. Fly, Arbed, and Crit looking for the setup.
You have been denied.
We're going to get any TPs coming in from Aster. Are they going to help their assistant coach here? 86 will standing in on the Kunkka. There's not enough damage from EG. He's having to get the combo off, but 86, he says, well,
thank you.
Is this your best day? 86 standing in, and he's the man to take the first blood. I mean, if that's going to be a morale boost and a half here for Aster.
Yeah. The double bracer build, it wasn't even close.
Yeah,
Like, not even
it
close
was not
to taking him out.
They didn't do their maths there, EG.
No.
They did not crunch the numbers, and 86 ended up crunching them.
And they didn't overreact either. Like Lana, he had a TP, but they were cool. They kept it gentle. They just
they were like, wait, what are they doing? They're not going to kill us? We'll see maybe now. 86. Oh, he will die this time. EG, they weren't having any of that. They came straight back and made sure to get some revenge. As they do bring 86 down. And by the looks of it, Arbed, the damage of this flame guard, the stun's going to be up in a second, but it doesn't matter. Arbed runs them down. So this is obviously the dangerous thing. You know, You give Abed some reason to fire up in the mid, he will. Quite literally here on the Ember Spirit. 2 kills straight up. After that first blood.
86 stuck around a bit too long. Is now on him.
He's got the setup crit with the follow-up. It's going to be EG hitting back very hard. They weren't too happy about losing that first blood. There's 3 kills straight on the board in response.
Lane's still looking real good though for Aster. XXS has actually bullied Arteezy out because, yeah, well, Arteezy's kind of chosen to go to the jungle because the Bane's making the rotations around. He has to just get out of that top lane, which is kind of traditional for your carries now at this point. 7 minutes is usually when the pressure starts being too much in your safe lane that you have to start moving. Monet gets slept. But
we'll see if they have enough damage in the burst. Quite, Monet. He's out in the trees with the waveform. But can't find him. Spirit's out, the Under Shadow's ticking him down. EG getting very active right now. They will let this top lane go by the looks of it. XXS pushing in. This tier 1 tower will fall, but EG on the prowl, on the hunt for these kills as expected with this Bane setup. And
I like that, as we see a lot of times even people not getting their splitter till like level 7, 8, something 9 like that. Level 6 he takes the air splitter because he has the setup for it with the sleep, with the arrow, and that's the damage, the difference to be able to kill that Morphling there. Very important. As top tower gets taken, XXS, he's already pretty much unkillable.
That's true. I mean, can you pretty much sit down here and hold this tower?
Yep.
Like, how hard is it for EG's heroes to now take this tower that XXS he's down in with the hood?
It depends on how many heroes they rotate, but it should be quite difficult. If you overextend on him too, then Lana imports in a Tombstone, and his Necrophos has like 2k, more than 2k effective life right now with hood, plus those stick charges that will effectively go. He'll have Ghost Shroud probably next level. I think level 8 he'll grab it up. Very strong. Monet, he'll just take the mid lane.
86.
And
he's got the setup onto Arteezy. Tombstone down, boats coming in. Arteezy, he's not getting any help here at all. There's a fantastic catch there from 86. Arteezy just heading up to the high ground, was not prepared for him to be waiting there. And so I say he got hit by the Tidebringer before he went to high ground.
He did.
So got hit by the Tidebringer, maybe just... He just felt confident, didn't think he would die, but he did. Aster, they take him down.
Middle tower is under attack.
2k lead now for us as well, yeah.
Monet is just going to the ancient area now too. Necrophos, XSS, as we said. He's playing a little bit more wary, even though we know how tanky he is. Look at his positioning here. Backs up, picks up his treads. Tankier now. Spotted by a ward. He'll just be able to farming. And actually poke the tower unless Arteezy's there, as we said, limited on push until
come down to bottom.
Unless the Tiny's there, or until like minute 20 when we do have that shard on the Tiny. So they're gonna see this as soon as they see Arteezy, and let's see what they do to react to it.
Bottom tower is in danger.
One success.
No, you don't go on that.
Does tank the arrow.
You don't want to go on that hero.
But yeah, he's ready to tank more than just the arrow.
Is under attack.
They're just gonna go mid. They're like, you know what? Bottom tower doesn't matter. We'd rather just actually put the pressure on ourselves. And as we said, Aster as a 5-man unit is a much stronger teamfight lineup than EG does have. EG has to play around the pickoffs, or just outplay inside of the teamfight crazily.
Their structures against attack.
Next, the boat, the Tombstone, it's too much really for EG to deal with. And Lanem, look at his positioning. He's sitting all the way back. We'll get that tomb off there.
Glyph is now active.
The wave, try to keep the catapult alive, but crits it there with an arrow. Does stop that push. Let's try.
And about Monet. Getting the space to catch up. He's got a bit of a slower time as compared to the other cores. The finger. They have huge amounts of burst.
See the Bane. I guess they're just gonna settle.
They'll take it. Right down both the ults in. No messing around, makes they get the kill. Ahmed does jump in. I see a nice move from Monet, using the chains against him, but Moonlight Shadow is out. Don't quite have detection on them here, so Ahmed will be able to step away.
Get away with quite a lot here. Monet now being able to play in the aggressive jungle. Arteezy, Echo Saber finished up. So that's when he's going to be able to start joining the fights. But as we said, not an easy Tiny game. Playing versus Necrophos, playing versus Undying. Playing versus like most of these heroes is not the easiest at all. You don't have good burst targets on almost anybody except for the Lion.
I mean, it shows, and it's going to be expected, right? These heroes that we do feel are going to be strong, like the Tiny, so are the pro players. They're going to come into this tournament with a lot of preparation against how they want to draft and play against that hero. And that's definitely apparent here. They've got an easy setup on XXS, and with 4 heroes beating down upon him. Survive. We'll see Arbit try and catch more. Looking for 86. He's also having a bottle of Envis, so further chase here.
That tombstone, though, was a little bit weird there from Lanem. That one just kind of free money for EG. And now the tower might also be in jeopardy because that tombstone was dropped.
They can't really put up a fight now. Tombstone and XXS gone.
XXS might just TP back in as they are rotating over. His boat's back up, but yeah, no tombstone available is really weird usage by Lanem.
Yeah, I was maybe just worried that 86 would get chased out. Put the ult, Stomp comes out onto them. Arteezy will look to finish off the tower. Avalanche out to hold back the two, then Splitter comes in. Lanem able to heal up. The rip. Sleight of fist though from Arbit just cuts through them. That's going to be Lanem gone down. Sleeper set up onto XXS. Time from 86 to hold back Arbit for now, but Arbit with the stick charges, he's still good to continue to chase. Change setup into the arrow. EG, they'll catch the Necrophos. XXS, he's still alive, able to put the stick, get underneath the tower. He's going to live, turns around the Reaper's side. They was that a clutch Nightmare save from Fly? I believe it was. Nightmare onto Ice Size, saves it from the Reaper's side, but 86, he'll find the 2-man torrent. A couple of hits, he gets it off just before the Stomp comes in. So Ice Size still goes down. Monet chasing Fly into the River. Aster will hit back. A very admirable save attempt there from Fly to keep Ice Ice alive. But unfortunately for the two of them, they do still both end up going down. Casualties as well on the side of Aster, but the way the team fight ends, Aster in a position to push back and take this tier 1 mid.
Yeah, a bit of mistakes coming out too. XXS didn't even use his hood. He would have lived.
The initial replay here.
Yeah, on the initial go, he didn't pop the hood at all. He waited. I thought he was gonna wait like for the last seconds maybe to catch them off guard, but yeah, he just never popped it.
I mean, we saw Arbit feeling strong with the Maelstrom done. Big amounts of damage there on that first jump, and they chase on, but definitely not without a cost there. Losing their own tier 1 tower.
Good save though. Good save by Fly. He's definitely very awake and ready. XXS, as I said, very awake and ready for that, but for the plays, but yeah, just not popping his hood. In their tower, and now clean out their jungle here a bit here. One A just be able to farm an ancient stack.
Really catching up, only a couple of hundred. Oh, about 100. It's easy now.
We said, Morphling in this matchup, he's got a lot of fun things to turn into. Sure, not some crazy agonyms unless he turns into like the ET at some point in the later stages if he does go for that, but just turning into heroes normally, turning into a Tiny and Ember, always spectacular.
Just smoking up again here, Aster. Kill, Vorax with the finger ready to go. Arcane Rune as well on 86. He could be set for a one-out engagement. PG try and bring it. But looks like it'll just be the one pick off it. Saving the finger, of course. No need for a hit.
Nice though. It's a good pick off because Crit's getting close to that Spirit Vessel. Very valuable this game versus the Necro and the Morphling. Get.
Death tax.
Get into the jungle here of EG. E6 on top of the arm that going for the BKB. I mean, when that BKB's done, he gets caught out by a grip setup. Invincible. Not going to be easy killing these heroes. This Kunkka and Necrophos, very, very tanky. Another catch here for Aster. They catch Fly, doing a bit of a warding mission in their jungle. Then put a stop to.
He's owning.
He's
part of all 7 kills.
Top network. That's dude. I mean,
he's owning. I'm telling you.
He is. This. As it goes with sort of last-minute stand-ins, they're going to be feeling pretty strong here, Aster.
And I love the itemization he's gone for. Like the double bracer, no funny business. Double bracer gets a damage item in between, and then he's going straight BKB because I mean, once they've got BKB, and as we said, like their group up with BKB, they might just be able to go straight into Roche Pit, and EG, it might just be a hard one for them to contest.
Look at this, from the low ground, they've got the step onto Arteezy. TPs are coming in, and it looks like Aster are hesitant on going any further towards the attempt for that kill.
It's a hard one. He's level 12 now. 2100, 80 HP with that 18 armor. They have the finger, but in that position there, they can get to EG. Just chilling out. You can tell they're not really like feeling too flustered. Still just playing like this farm game. As we said, they do have this really strong potential for late game scaling because of, and the Spirit Vessel is done. So maybe that might be a go to try to go get some more kills onto that.
behind Arbed. Sort of action up. With Aster up top, Monet. 500 off the Manta. Way into war. Safe and small. Like these members are tying him up around the mid lane.
Real close to BKB. And you can always get that off. Something important. The sleep into the arrow, you'll get the BKB off, so it's going to be a good way to cover them. And as we said for EG, they...
Any help? No, not in time. 86 doesn't forward. Hold back Arbed. Arteezy's in on top of 86. Boat comes down. The Hex as well. Borak's doing his best to control Arbed, stop him from being able to jump in and get 86. The Sleight of Fist won't catch 86, so 86 is able to step up to the high ground. Borax will lose his life for it, but 86 will be saved. Still though, Arteezy claiming the 2 kills there.
Timing crazy. Exactly when they want to start to look for these fights. Great BKB on the Kunga. Keep going. You know, they've got Spirit Vessel. Keep looking for these pickoffs. That's what their lineup is entirely about. They do not want to get into these 5v5 engagements yet until they have more items.
Of illusion.
See, yeah, Aster playing very careful. Monet in the trees. XXS as well. He's out of the bottom lane. Doesn't want to be pushing out any further himself. Whilst he knows that he's going to be on the move. Shadow Blade Echo done on Arteezy, looking for kills.
Hey.
Come out, Fly.
Spotted.
And straight away, immediate grip hit from Fly, leaves no chance for Monet.
That's, you know, you were asking one of the... See that animation? No, you didn't, because there pretty much is none. Absolutely instant. Monet, he's one of the faster players as well, too. We've talked about him so many times over the years. Normally gets like BKBs off from Invis-Rune stuns, so...
No, take that.
What's that?
Silver now, we got full Ags now for Abed too. Pretty much everywhere in the map, everywhere inside of the team fights. Love the Ag. He has it, it's very early.
We've seen the last few times some heroes being able to run away from him. Not be able to run away from him. Incredible amount of chase potential.
And it's a lot more burst too, if you do want to use it in that aggressive manner, which I know you love to do.
Throw them all out.
There's a hero like Morphling, like in a lot of situations. Plus ET aura, the damage.
KB here for 86. He's gonna have it for the next move.
And I want them to be more adamant about making moves. I think right now they're playing into EG's hands.
You think EG's getting a little too much?
EG's getting too much, and their lineup is about scaling later on. Like ET's gonna have Aghanims. Tiny already is pretty much online, almost has BKB, and then they're gonna be the ones who are actually constantly looking for their fights rather than Aster. Aster will have a lot more tokens to cover. Honestly, I feel like maybe even just walking to Roche Pit as soon as this Kunkka BKB comes out is the play for Aster.
I
think you have to do something.
Have they got some smokes still?
I believe they did. I think they had one on, oh, I thought they had one on Borax. Should be coming out on the courier then. Yeah, it's coming out.
I really feel that at the moment, EG definitely getting into their comfort zone now. Aster, they need to do something to shake that up.
Are they gonna? Yeah, they're going the Roche. Okay, good. I was like, I really hope that they just get in the damn Roche Pit. Like, you've got Undying, you've got this team potential with your 5 heroes, you've got the BKB.
It's gonna be spotted.
You gotta just do it. It's gonna die too fast because of the amp. I think it's gonna be a bit tough for ET to react. They do have the ET coming over.
TP and ISIS over. Yeah, if he's able to get the setup, cause a bit of a mess up here for Aster. It's getting low.
He's under attack.
Doing their best to make sure they don't get caught out by the stop, but the arrow's in. To Monet. Can EG really get in on this? Workshop very low. Arbed, he might be able to jump in and out. He's setting it up. Remnant's in. Arbed might look for the steal. Early jump. Arbed's in again. But already Aster, they get the kill, they get the Aegis. The lockdown's there onto Arbed. A big splitter comes in from ISIS. The boat comes crashing down there with the BKB out. 86 will be able to head out of the pit and get out of there. Maybe not. Fly. Fiend's Grip locks him down through the match community as 86 will manage to get caught on the way out. Quick jump in on the back lines. Monet's feeling confident, and with that Aegis that he's just picked up, to jump in the once for another round here. Fly. Set up Borax might be able to help turn from the high ground. The one death on Monet. See if they can do it again. XXS ready to step over. Finds an extra heals for safety here for Monet. Monet jumps over the walls, Finger comes out, Hex as well for Borax, he locks down Blind, they bring down the Bane, Ice is punching hard, runs down Borax, RTZ, saving that BKB here for this point of the fight now, where Aster, they've got nothing left to use. Just run down by the Tiny. May have got the Roche and the Aegis, but EG, they certainly take the fight.
Huge fight from EG. Fly coming in clutch. Little mini sleep there. I believe saving Abed for initial moments there, but then he gets the Fiend's Grip onto the Kunkka as he's exiting. Really nice plays. And Aster, they kind of got, like, I wouldn't say like trolled a little bit, but Arteezy was just continuing to push bottom. His team was making it seem like they had more people around the Roche pit area because Abed was like jumping in. So I think Aster they got bluffed a bit there.
Yeah, this is pretty scary now for Aster, you know, with the BKB on Tiny and the Aghanim's done on Ice. This is going to be very difficult for Aster to fight in 86. Support down bottom, he's got the BKB, so threat of dying.
They're trying to force it.
Yeah, he is. Very, very 6 will. BKB this time around. Arteezy on the hunt up top.
So they got the rush, but EG still have all their timings. And Monet, he sees him with the sentry.
Good turn. Jump in. Elbow. That's not set up, and they got the damage dust out. They do. A fantastic turnaround there from Monet and Borax. They were prepared, as you say, sentry up. They are able to sort of have that discussion. Do we want to try and bring heroes up? They do. Turn around, they take down Arteezy. 40 seconds without him. Could get the room for Aster to take some objectives here as they start to step up to the tier 2 top.
Still look to play. They should still look to play together. Do not look to get too split up from versus this EG team. They're all about getting those pickoffs versus your big team fight lineup. So yeah, look to go for this tier 2 here. So Arteezy down for 20 seconds. They didn't really have to use anything of too much importance. Sure, Finger, but it's not that important right now. It's more just about the disables that's coming down, and that is a Lincoln's now done.
Right.
So he's got protection versus that Bane. Lots of ways to break it, of course, with the Enfeeble.
They're looking to of course, XXS get the Lotus Orb up as well. Yep. Anything they can throw on this Monet Morph and make sure that he has a free time in the fights. High ground, Ice try with the stomp set up. Asleep. It's an arrow splitter as well. See if they can burst him. Oh, they certainly can. Ice just destroys it. Punches down Borax. It's over towards XXS. He can't run. Stomps out. XXS gets shredded as well. Or dead on Aster there. As, wow, there's the Ice just frontlining it all and coming in hard with these big punches.
They did get all their timings, as I mentioned. Like Aster, they made a nice move top. They played around all this vision here. They get the kill on the Tiny, but EG, they got every timing. They never overreacted to almost anything. Ice is massive. He's got that last fight, he gets the 15 talent right before he walks in too. So plus 350 damage when he walks into Aster's heroes there. And it's
middle tower is under attack.
A 4K advantage. Necrophos 0 and 4 after having such a good start in the laning phase. Hasn't really been able to make anything happen with him. So just the chain stun is just too much for him to deal with.
One is dropping in from the top lane. They want to try and kill Arteezy. Straight into the Tiny form. Good. Bring a bit from Fly to try and save with the Nightmare. It's not enough. The scythe comes crashing down. Arteezy's gone. Arrow up to the side to 86. He's ready to run in. He wants to try and fight, even though they've lost Arteezy. Still feeling strong in between the two of them. Ice and Arbed, but it isn't enough. Ice has now been left behind as EG have decided to bail. He's going to look for the TP out. There's nothing to put a stop to it.
Nice play, but waiting for the last minute to throw the Spirit out, catches it on the 4, so he gets that high duration magic immunity. Arteezy does die though, but in a position that is a very aggressive spot, so Aster now have to push the lanes fully out.
So a solid attempt from EG to try and find more from it. Also able to bail out when they could.
Fly is ready here. He does not have his Fiend's Grip Rebel, but he does have Ward that is going to get instantly. He was trying to hunt. Next success, gets himself back on the board. Just talking about 0-4.